Hello, welcome to JIBRIN Angle on Oweleke TV. My name is JIBRIN and this is my angle. Thank you for joining me on this monologue. Please, there's a video I actually want you to watch, and after you watching the video, I'll make my comments at the end. And this video is about Peter Obi. He made a comment and about the Nigerian system. Let's watch the video. And thereafter, I will come back to make my comment.
Yeah, you work hard for several years to be a professor. And if you're a professor in this university, your salary is 400,000 naira. And if they pay you without spending your money for 30 years, your salary will amount to 144 million, which is not up to what we used to buy a car for a legislator in Nigeria. That is the problem of Nigeria. That is the problem of Nigeria. That is number one. Number two, this university where you are, the overhead they give to the vice chancellor from federal government of Nigeria is about 10 million naira. So in 1 year, they will get about 120 million naira. They have over 500 professors, over 4,000 lecturers, over 40,000 students. They get 10 million naira, 120 million naira a year. So 5 of universities like this will get about 600 million naira annually, which if you convert to dollar today, is about 500,000 naira. That is what we use to go to a meeting of United Nations for 1 week. It's unacceptable. That is the problem of Nigeria. That is the problem of Africa. We can afford to do that with less than 10%. So it's squarely on our destiny. So I thank you for being part of this crusade. I'm sure our governor, every other person, we are part of this crusade. We must dismantle this criminality. That is the only way it can work. Thank you and God bless you.
All right. I hope you watched that and you heard everything Peter Obi said. Honestly, when I watched it, I became even angrier at Peter Obi. I don't know. He's used to giving us numbers. He's good at that. Don't get me wrong. He's a very smart, intelligent man, and I appreciate that in that part of him. That is brilliant. Because he seems to have so many figures in his head. Very few people can do that. He has so many figures, so many in his head that without looking at paper, is someone who speaks without looking to any notes, or looking at any notes. So I respect him for that. But honestly, we have gone beyond all these Englishes, all these figures he's giving. We all know. Can someone tell Peter Obi, we know all these things, including a common man on the street? You know all this, what all you have said, we all know that. We all know that politicians earn what they earn in a sitting. Just a sitting is far beyond a lecturer's salary the entire year or even years. We all know all that. My problem with Peter Obi is that he had the chance, he had the opportunity to actually better our lot in 2023. He blew it up. I said, did you hear it? Did you hear what I said? He blew it. He had the opportunity to do that. So he should just go and rest. Stop these figures. Stop all these figures that you mention, whatever. We all know all these figures. We all are aware. We've been aware for so many years. We know the corruption. Stop reminding us how corrupt we are. We already know how corrupt Nigeria is. That is not what we expect you to do. What we expected you to do in 2023 was not just winning an election, but actually fighting to protect, to defend your mandate. As far as I'm concerned, you won that election, but you did not fight to actually take back your mandate. And how do you, so people will ask, you went to court, so what? Court, I did not expect, because nobody expected anything good to come out of our courts. Because when a politician says, go to court, it obviously means that they have already gone ahead of you to wait for you. And that's exactly what happened. I expected you to think in that direction with that same mentality. But no, you were so stupid and foolish to so trust in our judicial system that it fell flat on its belly. And that is just it. Here we are. What I expected you to do, and some of you will ask, what did you expect Peter Obi to do? I expected him to fight for our mandate. It was not his mandate. We voted for him, so it became the popular mandate. It was our mandate. I expected him to fight for us. When this crazy INEC chairman stole the people's mandate in 2023, Mahmoud Yakubu, when he stole, when he didn't just steal, he raped us. Mahmoud Jega raped us, raped our electoral system, raped Nigerians publicly. When this rape was perpetrated on us, I expected Peter Obi to not just reject the election, no, but to actually protest against, reject the result rather, but actually to protest against the result. What I expected Peter Obi to do was to call out for mass protest, occupy the street, let him be the head of the occupation, occupy the street, that everyone will occupy the streets. I'm not asking that you could have called for violence, no, call for a peaceful protest. Because at that point, during that election, even the international community, the global community, they were behind you. You were so popular, you became globally popular. The majority of the Western countries, they saw you as a light in Nigeria, in the Nigerian polity. They came to start supporting Tinubu when it became obvious that they can actually use it. He's a corrupt person, he's a criminal that they can use his criminal background, to blackmail him into forcing him to follow their interests, to adhere to their interests, to implement their interests, like the interest of of course, Western interest. With no IMF is one of the Western. We have several Western interests. It was much later that the Westerners coalesced around Tinubu to support Tinubu, because it dawned on them that you can actually blackmail him into doing their bidding. But before then, before the election, within 2 weeks after the result was announced, the entire globe was still expecting something from Peter Obi. He was globally popular all over the globe. He was a trending factor. At that point, I expected Peter Obi to utilize his popularity, his broad acceptance, to call for protest. If he had called for protest, then people would have, because people were disenchanted, people were aggrieved, were mad and angry at what the rape perpetrated on us by Mahmoud Yakubu. So at that juncture, people were ready, could have come out to protest. And that protest could have led to, probably, they could have arrested Peter Obi, incarcerated him, and so what? And that is one of my grudges against him. He was not ready to make that sacrifice. He feels too comfortable to make that sacrifice. He doesn't want to lose his good life by being incarcerated. He's not ready to die for the people, for what he believes in. He's not ready to be incarcerated, to be punished, to be persecuted for what he believes in, for fighting for the people. So, and that fight, that's why I do not see what Peter Obi, I do not see that Peter Obi is actually doing what he's doing in all sincerity. He's not passionate about it. Passion leads you to sacrifice. When you are passionate about something, you will be ready to pass through thick and thin, through pain, through strain, through restraints, to make sure you achieve success, because it's a passion. Passion is a burning desire to achieve something. So Peter Obi does not have that burning desire. He lacked it in 2023 and he still lacks it because he's still there applying the same modus operandi. I have said it over and over. I keep saying it, that, and it can never be overemphasized, that the leadership of Nigeria can never be taken by diplomacy. The kind of diplomacy that Peter Obi is applying, the powers that be, the establishment, will never let this power go. They will never let it go on the platter of diplomacy. No, they can only let it go when we snatch it. It has to be snatched away from them. And that is what Peter Obi failed to understand. Or rather, he understands it, but he's just playing with Nigerians' emotions. And that is just the reality. Peter Obi should go sit down. And he's warming up for 2027. 2027, yes. I detest Bola Tinubu. Not his person. I don't have anything against Bola Tinubu as a person. I have so many things, everything against his background, his antecedents, the evil in him, the crime in him, the vices in him. The moment Bola Tinubu changes and starts doing the right thing, start being the right person, the right leader that he's supposed to be, honestly, the same, I will do another one. I will do an 180 degree to support him. But but unfortunately, we all know that Tinubu can never be what he is not. And even as it is right now, his background is so damaged that he dare not begin to do something right, because the powers that be, both globally and locally, will fight him to tooth and nail, because they have what to blackmail him with. And above all, he's not even attempting to do the right thing, because he keeps just spending our money recklessly on the wrong things, including borrowing money from IMF to fund all the establishment ostentatious lifestyle, instead of actually investing these loans on capital projects. So, and that is the point. Peter Obi, you are not 2027. Bola Tinubu that is why he has confirmed the current CJN. He's preparing already. And that is why Mahmoud Yakubu is still the INEC chairman. He has not fired him yet. He is still there because he wants to he wants to use the same man for 2027. Back to the CJN. The CJN actually was confirmed because, of course, he wants to still, because the other one's tenure has elapsed. Okay, his retirement age has actually crept in, so there was no option. So he had to look for someone that is as corrupt as the previous one. Hence, this current CJN, the lady. And so that is just the reality. This man is preparing, has prepared, and is still preparing. Look, I keep telling people this. If this man, Bola Tinubu, snatched power, when he snatched power from the establishment, the entire system, from us, outside, when he was outside government, when all the institutions of government were not at his beck and call, they were not answerable to him, yet he was able to use his wealth to steal this mandate, our mandate. How much more can he do that? Now, now and even in 2027 that he is completely in charge of all the institutions. He's the commander-in-chief. As such, he commands everyone and everyone listens to him. You must obey him. The INEC, the judiciary. Okay, the judiciary must not because they are independent. The legislature, they are supposed to be independent, but they are not. They are not under Tinubu. And that is why they can supplementary budget. They pass supplementary budget within 5 minutes, just pass a supplementary budget without debating it. That is to tell you the kind of system that we have today, where the president literally has all the institutions, including those institutions that are supposed to be independent institutions, in his palms, pressing the button to whichever direction he wills. And that is just it. So Peter Obi, you are a bunch of disappointment to us and to yourself. You have tried your best. You did so much. You have so much great record as Anambra State Governor. Just go and relax. You are not built. You are not made. You are not designed for the presidential race. You don't have what it takes. You don't have the temerity. You don't have the guts. You don't have the effrontery. You don't have the strength. You don't have the radicality. You don't have the courage. You don't have the energy to actually run for presidency. Honestly, you do not. What we need right now is someone who can fight fire with fire. Not the way you are going about it. And so that is it. Now, don't get me wrong. When 2023 election, you were the best candidate. I saw you until you failed to do what you were supposed to do. And you became a hypocrite. And that is it. Again, if by 2027, something dramatic happens positively, and you happen to be one of the candidates, and there is no any other option if prime military doesn't, the military didn't take over, and we are stuck. We get to a situation where we are stuck with this Tinubu nonsense. Unfortunately, you are the one. I will still vote for you, but unfortunately, I do not see anything good coming out of 2027 election, and that is why my prayer and my plea to the military lower ranks, not the top hierarchy. You should do something. We need you to intervene. We need you to succeed. Take over from this evil government. We need a reprieve. We need to breathe a sigh of relief. We need to unburden ourselves. We need someone to unburden us, take away this burden in the name of Tinubu from us. And so sad, it's so unfortunate. Nigerians, we need to do the needful. Thank you. This is my angle.